Well, hi, this is Josh Nelson with the Plumbing Marketing Podcast. I want to thank you for joining us today. Here on the podcast, we interview successful plumbing and HVAC business owners from across the country. Just kind of pick their brains on how they're marketing themselves in today's economy, what's working, and really getting the story straight from successful entrepreneurs as far as how they were able to build their business and what's working right now. And today, we have the privilege of talking with Greg Joyce from Schuler Services out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. And he's built a very successful business over the years. It's a family-owned business. And so let me introduce Greg to the line. Greg, how are you doing today?
I'm doing real well, Josh. How about yourself?
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about your business, how long you've been around, approximate revenues, number of trucks. Just give us some of the basic background information on the company and where you guys are at today.
Sure. Yeah, not a problem. Basically, the business was started by a fellow named George Schuler back in 1923. So we've been around the Allentown area, the Valley here for 91 years.
Wow.
So on and off, the business has changed quite a bit over the years. We now have a 1,800 square foot showroom. We do some bathroom remodeling. And basically at the moment I have 6 service technicians and 2 contract technicians that do the bathroom remodeling. So I'm running with 8 guys, and we basically have 11 trucks, and we're looking to fill. We could use 2 more right now at the moment. So that's where we're at. The business from 1923 to 1974 was owned by a couple different owners, and my father got involved in the mid-'70s and purchased the business in the late '70s with a partner that was one of the plumbers here. And basically I started in '86, and from '86 to 2005, for 19 years, I ran as a plumber and became a master plumber in that time period. And in 2005 I came inside when my father brought his partner out, and I became service manager from 2005 to May 1st of last year, 2013. And that's when I purchased the business from my father, and he is now my dispatcher, and still 70 years old, still working every day here at 6:30 every morning. So it's really cool.
Awesome.
Relationship that the two of us have. So that's basically the history. So I've really only been in business only for 13 months, but here I am.
Awesome. So a long history, but 13 months as the man behind the wheel, so to speak. And it sounds like about 11 trucks and growing. So you feel like there's a kind of a growth behind the business right now.
Yes, absolutely. We certainly, I had a plan when I bought it, and my marketing plan was my first thing, and I started with you guys. And we've worked a lot since last year around this time, that's for sure.
Well, we'll drill down into that a little bit more as we go, but I appreciate you giving us a sense of where you're at right now and kind of what the direction of the company is. I always feel like the fundamentals of any strong marketing plan include market, message, and media. So market being who the customers that you target are, what your ideal customer is, media being where you're marketing yourselves, like what tools you use to get in front of those customers, and message being, what are you saying? How are you positioning yourself in the marketplace? And when I do these interviews, I kind of hit on those 3 elements in a sequential order. That way the listeners can start to get a sense, okay, here's what I could and should be doing if I want to grow my business to whatever the next level is. And so let's start. Just tell me a little bit about who your ideal customer is, what your target market is there in the area that you serve.
Certainly, by asking the ideal customer, any customer to me, in my eyes, is the ideal customer. Certainly, we target certain areas of Lehigh Valley demographically. Certainly the western part of our county is our target area, although we are expanding in much of Lehigh Valley. But and as far as how we put ourselves in front of our customers, I mean, our reputation has been there, obviously 91 years. The longevity is certainly a big part of it, family owned for 90 years. And then also just our service. I mean, basically we classify ourselves as a first-class service, and it's sort of our tagline and part of our marketing. Is service is our last name, but our first priority. And right down from the embroidered rugs as we walk in the door and put our booties on and
Nice.
walk in with our briefcase to present ourselves, and then basically look at the project at hand, and then do the upfront pricing if it's at the kitchen table, so to speak. That's sort of our MO.
So the messaging really is that you guys are family owned. You provide outstanding services. You try and bring a premium experience to the customer in your market.
Absolutely, and that's my team all knows that. That's my goal, to give them the best possible service experience that they deserve. I mean, and so they understand. We educate them the value of our service as part of our whole process. Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, well that's fantastic. So now we can we can kind of drill down a little bit into the media that you use to market yourself. And there's a lot of different things you can do as a plumbing or HVAC company to get in front of your customers. Everything from direct mail to yellow pages to TV, radio, billboards, public relations, networking, and everything in between. But tell me a little bit about what you guys do as a company and what your marketing mix looks like as an organization.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my number one goal, basically, when I bought the business, part of my business plan was to talk to somebody at the QSC meeting about online marketing. So we were really struggling. Tried a couple local avenues here. It didn't work out. And Baltimore last year, my main focus and goal going down to the power meeting was to talk to some people about online marketing, who they were using, and I ended up with a conversation with you, Josh, and your partner, Dean. And August of last year, I think, is when we sort of kicked it off.
Yep.
And, it just was an awesome experience. I have to point out Jose because he's my pal. And he has worked with me every step of the way, even to this day, developing our site. So that's a major part of my marketing plan. That really, I believe, has worked tremendously.
Okay.
We also do. I don't know if you want me to move in. I could talk about billboards.
Yeah, please do. And thank you so much for that positive shout out. I never solicit on these interviews, for those of you that are listening, direct feedback about us. But when I get it, I certainly appreciate it. So thank you very much. And I know Jose that'll make Jose's day to get a public shout out like that. Jose is one of our account managers and an integral part of our team here.
Right. And I highly recommend him to anybody. I know you have more customer service representatives, and I'm sure, but I just had to put a shout out to my guy Jose. But, moving forward, I mean, billboards is something we started as well. We never did that before in the past, and that's basically for some branding, and we do that on some of the major highways. Some bus shelters. We had 3 bus shelters around the Lehigh Valley. Basically, that's branding.
How many of those billboards would you say you have? And
at the moment, I went back to vinyl. Over in the fall of last year, I tried some digital advertising, the new digital billboards, and quite frankly, billboards are tough to track. In my opinion, somebody could help me with that. But what my frustration was, you're sharing it with 6 other clients, and every time I drove by, it seemed like a car dealership was up there, so that was frustrating. So I got away from the digital boards, and basically I just started back a month ago on one of the busiest highways here in the Lehigh Valley, in the Allentown area, a vinyl board, and I love it. I'm getting great response. It's part of our new rebranding that we're doing, which ties in with our new trucks that we're wrapping. We just got done. We're in the process. We got a couple more to go, but we got like 11 trucks that are totally rewrapped, and some salesmen's cars, 2 cars that are rewrapped as well. And the bus shelters, the billboards, and we're all tying in together at the same time here.
Excellent.
Which we're real excited about.
And so your new wraps look beautiful. Kind of the idea there is you've got the billboard on wheels.
Basically, yeah, that's exactly right. So this was all coming out all at once, and really hitting hard. And like I said, we're real excited about it. The wraps, the trucks look. Matter of fact, we have so many comments People saying, "Hey, I love the new trucks," and little they know they're not new trucks, but
Yeah,
they
they look
good
new.
for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Now you say you get some pretty good response from the billboards, but then at the same time you said it's kind of hard to track and measure. Is that feedback? You just feel like the general sense people say, "Hey, I saw your billboard; it looks good," or how do you quantify that?
Basically, just what you said. I mean, we're just getting a lot of feedback where people say, "Hey, I saw your billboard," or I'm calling because I saw your billboard, and I try to do something unique. We've had a rough winter up here, so I went with a billboard with a clock switching back the temperature. It's in a big commuting area. Basically, went with the anytime, any weather. Thinking, people are going to be looking at this clock, and that's what the feedback I heard is yeah, I see the digital clock up there, but got the vinyl board, and that's basically the feedback we've been getting. And you have to understand, Josh, this billboard's only been up for the last month, but it's been very, very positive since it's been up.
Excellent. And we find there's a lot of synergy between offline and online. So when you're doing billboards and any other type of branding, and then they're looking online when they're at that moment, whether they need the plumber or they're thinking about the remodel, and they go to Google and they type in a search, and they see your company and they know they've seen you around and they recognize your brand and they've seen your trucks, the trust level's higher. We find the click-through rate's higher, which helps our SEO efforts. But it also it all works together to drive even better results as a whole.
Sure. Yeah, and the neat part about you guys right away, as soon as I did the rebranding with the billboards and even our letterhead, our cards, the whole 9 yards, you guys were right on it and changed our homepage and each of our individual pages with our basically our new logo that we're real happy with, and that was done right away too. So to me, consistency is key in the branding. People see it, they see it outside, see it on your website, see it on your just everywhere, and basically that's my goal here, to get the rebranding done and all out at once.
Excellent. So we talked about internet being a major source. We talked about billboards. Do you guys do any other marketing initiatives to on the media side of the equation?
Sure. I mean, get back to the online marketing. You guys handle my social media, so we do have a Facebook page, which is handled by your firm. Mm-hmm. So we do have basically a post every day, and then on our website too. I have to point out there is a blog, I believe weekly, that is done on there as well.
Yep.
And the new review thing has been just phenomenal. We have online reviews, and we actually give spiffs to our technicians as an incentive. We have a whole program set up with my service manager, Schuler. He reads the reviews weekly, and obviously then they get spiffs as well for each of the reviews when the name is mentioned. But moving on to other types of marketing, I tried the team sponsorship this year for a softball team. So I sponsored the softball team, and interesting enough, for my analytics report, the amount of leads coming from their website have been phenomenal. We've actually got a few jobs that actually paid for the uniforms already, so
nice.
It's pretty cool. We do some direct mail with another industry partner. I don't know if I can mention the name.
Absolutely. No, definitely.
Yep. Contractor 2020, Mike Marcy does our direct mail for us. Doing a fantastic job. Direct mail works. Talk to Mike. It does work. Mm-hmm. And we also do the neighbor program with him. That we just kicked off. Basically, how that works is we send 25 jobs a week to him, and then they send out 5 postcards to the neighbors. Hey, we work for your neighbor. So that we're just kicking off. I mentioned the truck wraps. I mentioned my sales cartons wrap. We do stuff like local theater, advertising.
Local theater, so you've got the ad in the theater that rotates on the big screen?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and we get good response there as well. That's another tough one to track. The things like, I don't know if you want to call it donation marketing, basically getting yourself out in the public, if it's a golf outing or
public relations, probably public relations, how you could classify that type of stuff.
Yeah, sure. If it's a fundraiser for the blood center or cancer or what have you, and we always get really good responses from those as well.
Excellent.
But other than that, I mean, we do some. We had another industry partner, Chester Axley from Hopkins USA, just started. We're doing our private labeling on our drain cleaning products, or drain treatments. That's exciting as well. He's doing private labeling for us. So
Okay.
that's another form of marketing. So.
Very, very interesting. It's a nice, diverse mix. The one thing you didn't mention that I know, at least in the past, you were heavy in was the Yellow Pages. Are you still in the Yellow Pages at some level?
We are.
Okay.
We did back down this year. The contract just renewed. We're in the Yellow Book and the Yellow Pages. We're actually in the Yellow Pages of the double truck. We do have the 4 pages, but we backed out the different sections like water heaters and water treatment, and so we're going to be tracking that real closely to see if that has any effect. Hopefully it doesn't have any negative effect, obviously, but more and more we're getting away, trying to back away because of our online presence is so strong. We're thinking maybe, just distribute some of that, marketing money in another way. So
Sure.
we have done that. We dropped that paper altogether because I did some tracking when it was the newspaper, and unfortunately that has not really worked for us.
Okay.
As far as Angies List, their mailer, we tracked that as well, and we didn't see much return there either.
So that's with regards to the mailer. I know that they've got a print side of the division and they've got an online side of the division. I know you've got a lot of reviews on Angies List. Do you have a premium listing on Angies List, or you just kind of go with the base program?
The base program at the moment.
Okay.
I did some of the mailer advertising last year. Put a coupon in there. Coupons are a great way of tracking, and we have coupons on our website. That's our direct mail is tracked as well. But from the Angies List, we didn't receive much of a return on that, so we dropped out of that. But as far as Angies List, no, we're basically on there. It's member driven, I guess, for the most part. And our reviews seem to be working quite well.
Excellent. So that's a pretty diverse marketing mix you have in place, and it's really the recipe for success. Very aggressive online marketing strategy, branding with billboards and theater ads and other things like that. Obviously aggressive with social media and online reviews, doing some other team building, team sponsorships. The direct mail, heavily marketing back via print to your existing customer base, and then the neighborhood program is great. Aggressive branding with the trucks, and I think what the consistent theme of these interviews is you need to have a diverse strategy that touches each one of these areas, and when you do that right, and there's some synergy between the different channels that you're using, that's when you start to see the maximum result in terms of marketing and getting inbound leads, calls, and growth within your business. So to kind of recap that, what would you say, what of the marketing efforts drive the most new leads for you?
Well, hands down, our online marketing, there's no question.
Okay.
And we just saw a quick result of that from when our website, our brand new website that you guys developed for us, got kicked off, I think in October of last year. And I just want to point out, from this fiscal year, just our sales alone are up 30%.
Wow.
So very proud of that. And it's not just the sales that are up there, the profitability's there as well. So we're just extremely happy with the online marketing, because that was something we really struggled with. I struggled with. I knew that was my number one thing as soon as I bought the business, and I couldn't be happier with the results.
Excellent. Now, we talked a little bit about some of the marketing efforts that you stopped, and it sounded like most of them you've kept. You've kind of slowed down on the Yellow Pages a little bit, but you've also slowed down on the newspapers.
Yes.
Okay. Just due to the fact that you didn't feel like it was generating the result that you could by putting those dollars elsewhere.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent. We talked already a little bit about some special initiatives that you guys have in place. Tell me a little bit about, so I know that I implement the review system that you guys have, But just tell us a little bit about that and how you're incentivizing the guys to do the reviews, because those that are listening don't know the back story behind it.
Okay, yeah, the review is a couple things. It's I guess you would say it's twofold. We actually, Jose set up a really cool thing, I thought. That this has started us off because we had so many written reviews. We sent them to him, and I don't know if they were scanned or however it was done. So we have a bunch of written reviews on our website. But most importantly, we have this easy link you could click on as a customer. When we're done, we leave a card behind and ask them to post a review, and basically just get on the site. I think it's handled by, is it Bizarrefy? Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a tool. There's a tool behind that's aggregating your reviews called Bizarrefy, and a system called Nearby Now, which helps your technicians check in and request reviews consistently after every service call.
Right, I was going to get into the Nearby Now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead. Talk.
Yeah, no problem. I just the first one, like I said, was on the paper reviews that were posted, and then the ease of, you don't want your customers to have a cumbersome process to post a review, or else they're just not going to do it, and it's just that's the bottom line. So it's real easy with this new system that Plumericio set up for us. So those are working real well. So all our reviews coming from, if it's Google Plus, what have you, the Angies List, they get posted on a real easy link for them to even look at and review your reviews. And then the third one was the one Josh just mentioned, is the Nearby Now, which is basically the guys have their mobile devices out in the field. They take their iPhones, they check in. And this is something we're building at the moment. I know Jose tells me how important it is because for ranking purposes, that new content all the time. Basically what it is the tech takes a picture, says, hey, I just installed this new water heater, I'm at this such address, and the customer could get some feedback. You get the email address, you send it to them, and then it gets posted right up on your homepage of your website. It's really cool stuff. But that is something we are working on. My service manager, Sean, has worked very hard on that, and we've had some great results and great responses from that as well.
Excellent. And so this is something that you're doing a pretty good job with. I know you feel like there's room for improvement and you could use the tool more often. But one of the main challenges that our other clients have with this is getting their technicians to buy into the process, do the check-ins, type the descriptions. What were you able to do, and maybe it was Sean that took the lead on it, how were you able to get the technicians off the fence and into actively leveraging the technology?
Right. Simply spiffs.
Okay.
They get a certain dollar amount. That's always a plus, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
And training. We're big on training. We train every Wednesday morning. We have an hour set aside, or a half hour set aside, whatever it takes. And if it's bringing a local supply house in, or if it's basically the sales training on Sean's and our service manager doing a great job with the guys, that's the key. Because you can't just expect a technician to go out there and start doing this without any training. And Sean is working hard with the guys, even on a one-on-one basis, to get them to do it even more. And again, it's key to your rankings because Google likes to see that fresh content. So Nearby Now is a great system to have new content there every day, because basically your guys are just checking in from where they're working. Yeah,
and it's creating that consistent, relevant, hyper-local update for the pages on the site. But that's powerful. So doing the training, kind of making sure they understand how to use it, making sure they understand the value of it, and then incentivizing them with some type of financial spiff for doing the activity. So
Sure.
that's extremely valuable from an implementation perspective. So, moving, towards the, still in the marketing vein, but maybe a little bit more business general, what services do you find to be most profitable as a company in today's market?
That's a great question. And, when we do our tracking on different job costing and track our jobs, hands down, probably our number one most profitable jobs are our excavations, our underground work.
Okay.
If that was the question or that's the answer, you are you looking for the type of job that we do?
No, that's excellent. That I'm looking for whatever you find in your in your business, in your financials, and there's no leaded pointed answer that I'm looking for there.
Okay. Yeah. No. Hands down, excavation seems to be, and we do quite a bit of that. We work. We actually subcontract our excavation out to an excavator that we work with very closely, and we work with almost every week. It seems like anymore we have some underground work going on. So I find that to be the more profitable end of the business. A lot of our commercial service, which we do, the same thing. But in general, just doing upfront pricing and just plumbing in general. We're basically a service company that does also some hydronic heating as well, some radiant heat, and we also do bathroom remodeling, as I mentioned before, with our showroom. But all in all, just it's been good. It's been a good year, a profitable year so far. So we want to just keep it going. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Are there any new services? So I know you guys have been around for quite some time, and are there any things just, let's say, in the last couple of years that would be new services that you started to offer that you've noticed are either in demand or highly profitable for you as a company?
Yeah, I could. Our jetting services, up until 2-3 years ago, we didn't have any jetting products or any equipment, I should say. And again, another industry partner, Hotjet USA, Chester Axley, certainly helped us out with that. And with some cameras, most of the trucks all have colored cameras on now. And that leads us going back to excavations, because the people, your clients, your customers really want to see what's going on. And just saying, hey, we got to dig up your front yard, Mrs. Jones, just doesn't cut it compared to the having that tool there in front of you with a nice colored video screen and say, hey, here's the brake, here's the belly in the line, here's the root intrusion, here's this, and that really helps to bring on some nice jobs as far as excavations go, and jetting as well, because we could blast through just about anything, root intrusions, with some of the new equipment out there that Hotjet USA has provided us with.
Excellent. And that's great feedback. We want to make sure we add as much value on these interviews as possible. And for those guys that are listening, they're like, what else should I be doing? What other services could I be providing? It's really helpful to know what you and what other successful guys are finding to be profitable in today's market. So tell us, and I know you've mentioned this one a couple times, but tell us about some of the organizations that you've belonged to that have helped you along the way and you feel like might have kind of formed the foundation of your business philosophy and success.
Right. Well, I always, even just as a plumber, when I became a master plumber, I joined the local PHEC, and that was just hands down right away. Just how much I learned was incredible. Just by going to the monthly meetings, and basically that's how when I joined the state national, I basically saw the opportunity then when I knew I was going to be buying a business to say, hey, I'm gonna try this QSC organization, which is Quality Service Contractors, and let me tell you, really, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would be where I'm at now. So they've been integral to the growth and my education of learning how to basically run a plumbing service business, and they've been phenomenal. And I really got to also mention my father as well. His experience and his 40 years coming up, actually in September every year, 40 years.
Wow.
So I certainly, following his footsteps as well. So, but the organization, Quality Service Contract, I can't stress enough. Josh, you're an industry partner. You know how great the power meetings are, and how much you can learn. And networking, it's just second to none. Just even the networking with the other business owners is just phenomenal. I couldn't recommend it to anybody enough as a business owner to get involved.
Excellent. So tell me, I guess, since you've mentioned QSC so often throughout this interview, and I really feel like it's made a major impact on your business, can you just elaborate a little bit about what QSC is for you and how you engage with your membership in QSC?
Well, it all started where I went to my first power meeting back, I think, in 2012. So I'm a fairly new member in Charlotte. And, just talking to other people and listening. I always think the key to business is to surround yourself with people that know more than you, even within your own business. Hiring people around you that know more than you do is key as well. And just learning and listening to people as yourself, just trusting, putting trust in. I think QSC is an easy organization to trust people. And obviously trust is key, because you're not going to just hand over marketing dollars to somebody or whatever it may be. If it's getting equipment or what have you, you don't trust the person. And I think that's where the QSC organization really has it, because you just get the feel from all the other business owners. If it's online on the Q list, you say, hey, they're having success, so that means it's probably going to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just find that to be the most helpful thing. And again, just the people alone. It's just a wonderful organization.
And so just to kind of consolidate, so QSC, because I haven't really been able to drill down on it with these interviews, is an organization. It's a subsection of, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm an industry partner. I'm not a contracting member, but it's an organization, subsection of PHCC, that is mostly plumbing and HVAC contractors. There's some electricians and other allied industries. That is it's not a huge group. It's a network of highly successful plumbing and HVAC business owners that network on a consistent basis. So there's an open queue list where any of the members can ask a question, and the other members kind of put their mastermind together and respond and help each other out. And then there's ongoing trainings for the technicians and coaching available. And then there's a quarterly, or I guess it's a quarterly power meeting where all the members come together for 2 to 3 days and just share best practices, get new training on business, on pricing. And it seems like it's just a powerful way to grow your plumbing or HVAC business by tapping into this great network of other successful business owners that are like-minded. Anything you want to add to that, or if I'm off?
No, that's awesome. That's well said. Couldn't say it better. Except it is semi-annual. We meet twice a year typically.
2x, okay.
Rather than quarterly, but that's not a big deal. But the business coaching alone is something I didn't bring up, and you touched on it. There's 2 business coaches, Beth Bodkin, the business coach is actually going to be coming to our organization here in July. Looking forward to that, and doing some tech training, and there's some, basically overall, from what I hear, I haven't had her here yet, so I'm interested to see what she's going to say. But right there, talking to other business owners in QSC, that the business coaching is just an eye-opener, too. So there's some things that I'm always looking for improvement. Obviously, we all are as business owners. We certainly want to improve and grow our businesses. So the business coaching is another part of it that I think is going to be a big help for us here, just to get an outside look, see what you're doing. Is there something we can improve upon, change this, or a little more training here in this tech department, or what have you. It's the way we're handling our phone calls. They do all kinds of training with CSRs on how they handle the phone calls coming in. So a lot of good stuff.
Excellent. Great feedback there. So, just in wrapping up, is there any other nuggets of wisdom or anything else you'd like to convey to that plumbing or HVAC business owner that's listening to this and really just trying to take their company to the next level? Is there anything else that you'd like to convey?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think I touched on this before, is surround yourself with people and listen to people that know more than you. Because, once you think you know it all, that's when you're going to fail, in my opinion. And, I think surrounding yourself with more knowledgeable people, if it's marketing, if it's on the technical side, or if it's anything, if it's technology, computers, just get yourself, get better people around you. And that philosophy seems to be working with my business, because I hired three new team members since I bought the business, and they've been instrumental in the growth of the business. And it's basically because they're sharp people, and I always say this, if they know more than me, they're going to help me out. So that's basically what I got to say as far as that goes.
Absolutely. Well, Greg, this was an awesome interview. I think you shared some great information, some great insights that the listeners are going to get tremendous value from. So thank you for so graciously sharing your time, your experience, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from people thanking you on this. For those of you listening, thanks for joining us. I hope you get great value from these interviews. Please stay posted. If you want to listen to other interviews that have been conducted in the past, or subscribe so that you can be alerted as new interviews are posted, you can do that by going to plumbingmarketing.net. Again, that's plumbingmarketing.net. And this is Josh Nelson. I'll look forward to talking with you again soon.